Hi there, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, for your astrological overview for week commencing the 28th of September. A week which begins with the Sun and Mercury still in the sign of Libra, but on Monday there is a very potent lunar eclipse in Aries. Immediately for the next couple of weeks, this is suggesting that we all need to focus on relationship issues. And if any relationship isn't working out quite as it should, then there's a lot of talking and thinking to do, particularly with Mercury continuing to track backwards in a retrograde alongside the Sun. In fact, they're pretty close together from Tuesday through to Friday. But this is an opportunity to listen up, to be more astute, to realise that the more we tune into how other people see us, the more that we can gain and learn about ourselves. However, there is an awful lot else going on this week. There's the continuing influence from last week in an opposition between Jupiter and Neptune. That runs on to Thursday, so quite dreamy, quite idealistic, potentially spiritual, but important also not to let the more fantastical side of this influence take too much charge. What is very impressive this week is a fantastic angle between Jupiter and Pluto. This really is exciting. Both are in Earth signs, and this is an opportunity for transformation and very positive growth. So if you're doing anything for the betterment of all people, there's a great chance that it can make progress. But even if you're interested in travel, in furthering your business career, this can be very helpful. Mars, however, of course, pitched up in the sign of Virgo last week and clashed with Saturn, while continues to do so through to the middle of this week. The key here is we need to contain our frustration when things don't go quite as quickly and quite as well as we would like. However, as this week goes on, Mercury, which is ingressing, it's actually rewinding inside itself, that moves out of a square that it was forged in with Pluto and starts to make contact with Saturn. So there is an opportunity for Saturn to play the good guy in this situation, as long as we've really done the research and we're very clear and precise in what we're saying, committing to pieces of paper, contracts and all the rest of it. But towards the end of this week, Mars goes into an opposition with Neptune, and this does need an enormous amount of care. Mars and Neptune, when they get together in an opposition or square, can lead to deception, and it's the trickster influence bar none. If you encounter someone in a romantic context that really takes your breath away, I would really just not get too swept away by it immediately. There may be something this person isn't telling you. If you're buying or selling, again, keep your wits very much about yourself. Be aware of your own motivations. And also, with the Sun squaring up to Pluto as this week draws to a close, we have another dust-up between the need for fairness against the power of Pluto in this context, which can resist the rights of people, or it can be in a personal context this works out, or it can be more in a geopolitical one. But we may see some sneaky stuff and not particularly fair stuff going on in the world at large as this week draws to a close. But with Jupiter forging that angle with Pluto, there is also the potential for good things, and with the Sun combining with Mercury, despite the retrograde, there is the potential for extra social justice and fairness. It's just that there are going to be people who don't want these things to happen because it doesn't suit their agenda. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.